What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Residual Earners Podcast, episode 39. I'm Jordan.
I'm Presley.
And today, guys, we are going over what it takes to start a business. I've gone through the process recently with a new company that I'm super excited to share with you guys. And I thought, what better way to answer a bunch of questions that you guys may have on, what it takes start to finish on how to get a business off the ground and running.
Absolutely. And I've been doing some research on starting businesses, and if you're wanting some businesses that have a good success rate, in other words, a low failure rate, real estate is a good one. Laundromats. Kind of surprised me on laundromats, Jordo, but, Jordan and I have a friend of ours that's opening one, and I'm paying a lot of attention to that one because I may get in the laundromat business. How's that? But anyway, vending machines kind of caught me by surprise. Transportation of any kind, and Jordo and I are into the auto transportation business, so we're in that one. Senior living centers are a 97% success rate.
That's awesome.
Is that not crazy? Senior living centers.
People aren't getting any younger.
No, and the baby boomers are getting old. And the other thing, I think with senior living centers, you've got the city, state, federal giving subsidies and stuff to get them going. And then another one is self-storage. Self-storage has like a 92% success rate. It's kind of crazy. You can't fit it in your garage. You can't fit it in a closet. So you go rent a space and put your junk in there. But anyway, real estate, laundromats, vending machines, transportation, senior living centers, and self-storage. So there's some that I did a little research on that if you're looking to get a business going, those have high success rates. And I don't know. There it is.
I've never asked you this. Do you have anything in storage?
Well, no.
Okay. I was going to say with the property here, if you had something in storage, something is wrong.
No, we got plenty of room to store stuff here. 14 acres and barns and garages and all kinds of stuff. So I can find a place to poke some things here. So
definitely. But guys, that's some, like Presley said, we've looked at laundromats. We've probably 4 years, going on 4 years now.
Yeah.
We haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet because they 100% work, but I want to know if it's better to buy a laundromat with 7-year-old machines that you get for way cheaper, or if it's better to do the route of going in and retooling the whole thing, which, for the stuff we've looked at is 3,000 to 4,000 square feet, and it's probably $750,000 in machinery, and trying to weigh those two options. And we've kind of looked at, you don't find any for sale that just went in and redid all the machines.
No.
So we finally have a close friend of ours that is either just launched or is launching, and it'll be really cool to see that journey for him and how it goes on, because I think his is very high end, all new machines, guys that they don't take quarters anymore.
No, it's all cards. It's all
laundry,
cards.
I guess, is going to be called card laundry.
Yeah.
But it'll be really interesting to see kind of how that goes and which direction is best. Because I've, in the research I've done, I've seen some people have grown these businesses very large with one location, pickup and delivery, folding service inside the laundromat, and then obviously just your day-to-day business of walk-ins. But one guy I follow, his machines run 24/7 every day. He literally cannot pick up. I think he's got 10 trucks, 10 vans.
What they do is they'll do the walk-ins and stuff till like 10 or 11 at night, and then
the night
they'll
crew
shut
comes
that
in
down, and they'll start doing all the stuff where they've gone out and picked up the laundry and stuff.
Because I think in the video I watched, he has a side room that's this big, that's literally just shelves. The whole thing is just shelves, and he's got obviously a really efficient system that the new stuff comes in and then it works through and gets in the machines, gets out, gets folded. I mean, it's an operation, and the guy is making well into 7 figures with one location laundromat.
No, you can make some bank with that, and I'm really anxious to see how it goes. And he told me he would keep me abreast of how things were going and how he was doing and how much money he's making and all that. So we'll have the inside track when you have a good friend doing it.
Definitely. Because I think it's one of those businesses, you can keep the lights on if you just run machines. You can make a little bit of money if you do, a dry and fold service. And then you can make, a really good living doing it where you have pickup and delivery.
Yep.
Once you add that all three prongs in. And guys, you can tell we're kind of interested in that because it seems like a really low risk business that you can make really good money.
Well, and the other thing, if you think about it, good times are bad, good economy are bad. People need clean clothes, so it's pretty much recession proof.
It probably gets busier during a recession, I would think, when people are moving into apartments more and the market's not as good. I feel like it could actually, your business could go up.
Yeah,
maybe not on the pickup and delivery side. People may start doing their own laundry again, but definitely on the machine side, on your walk-ins and fold and dry service.
Guys, I didn't know we were going to do this podcast on laundromats, but
welcome to episode 39. Today we're talking about the laundromat business.
I don't know how we kind of got veered off that far, but anyway, we'll keep you posted. I have a feeling that we will be doing a podcast on laundromats.
Definitely. And I think that, and one of the reasons, guys, we're talking about this, and I kind of went this direction is, in our morning lives, our TikTok lives, Presley really talks a lot about, businesses you can start up, how to make more residual income, kind of what this channel, what the roots of this channel are based on. And, we're always looking at these different avenues to get residual income, which is why I kind of went down that road. But, hopping back on kind of what the topic of the podcast is, guys, is Calgary roofing and restoration is off the ground and running. And it is a big-time learning experience. And to give a little backstory, guys, Bruce, who sat right in that chair over there from USA Roofing, Andrews Roofing. If you remember, guys, Bruce in 2004 did $120 million in roofs, which is crazy. Bruce has been nationwide at times in the roofing business. He was kind of a pioneer, and learning more about Bruce has written a lot of the legislation, a lot of the certification processes. Bruce's name is literally on these certifications. And it's funny and this is just kind of a backstory on Bruce, guys, but we had a meeting with a company called Southwest Roofing last week, and the guys are like telling us, we do this and we're HAG certified, which is a big deal. And Bruce just goes, yeah, I think in 1979, I actually helped write the handbook for that on what it was. But Bruce came out to play in a golf tournament with me this past summer in Calgary, and there's been a big storm up there, and he just said, Jordan, if you're looking for something to do, which I have been after moving up to Calgary, something that I could be involved in the day-to-day in, he said, if you're looking for something to do, there's a huge opportunity here. And Bruce and I, for the last few years, have talked about me getting into the roofing business in some capacity, and he's always said, no, it's not the right time. No. So to hear him finally say, if you want to do it, it's your time to go. And from there, guys, it's been, we've been running. But I kind of wanted to go into the backbones of, we see a lot on the lives of people asking how to start a business, the process of starting a business, what all goes into it. So I thought, while it's fresh on my mind, and obviously we are a branch of USA Roofing, so it wasn't starting from complete scratch, but
close to it.
We still had to, get the LTD set up, get the business license set up, get the marketing set up, get the branding set up, get, all these systems in place to be able to operate. And it's been fun. So I thought, we could go over that and kind of start from, the starting point of anybody out there that's looking to start a business. And then obviously we can kind of build it up in the steps it'll take to ultimately get you off the ground and running.
I want you to tell a little bit of the piece of the story of the guy you went to visit, and he goes, "So you don't have a business card? Oh, so you don't have a shirt? Oh, so there's nothing on your truck?"
You've heard Presley and I say multiple times, it's not always sunshine and rainbows. And I have had one bad encounter, and we've been going out a few weeks now. I've had one bad encounter, and I go and I work with a guy, older gentleman, super nice, and I work with him the day before. I'm calling him on the phone. Hey, this is who I am. Got your contact information because he reached out to us, and I go meet the guy. And the way we do our roof inspections, where we're at in Calgary right now, in the northwest quadrant, it is hit with hail. And I'm talking golf ball to baseball size hail. Cars are crushed, windshields broken out. There's no looking to say, "Oh, I'd like to come check out and see if you got a little hail damage." Not sure, but let me get up on the roof and look. It's not that. It's how bad did it destroy the side of your house as well? How bad did it bust out your windows? And then you kind of go from there. So I'm not getting up on roofs because the damage is there. So I'll get aerial shots of the roof to see, turtle vents and goose vents and to know exactly what kind of hardware we need. But other than that, it's damaged. So I'm not going up there trying to circle damaged spots and figure it out. But I go the day before, meet this customer, super nice guy, and he literally is like the street across from the airport. I mean, we are at YYC International Airport, and I can't fly the drone there. So I just, he wants me to check out the roof. So I said, you know what, I'll bring back tomorrow. I'll bring back my partner, and we will check out your roof for you and go from there. So I do a full inspection of the outside of the house, get all the pictures, all the documentation, measurements, so I know exactly how many gutters, how many going around the house, but also downspouts, returns. I've got everything done. And the last thing we're going to do, just like we told the customers, come back the next day and, get up on his roof just to. We really have no reason to get up there, but
people
look at you weird whenever you're like, nah, I don't care about the roof. I'm just looking, at all the other stuff. They're like, are you really a roofer? But so we come back the next day, just like, I told him it'd probably be early afternoon. Call him, hey, does 2:00 work? Oh, he's a super nice guy. Yeah, that no problem. So get back up to the house. My partner's with me. He is definitely runs the crews. He knows the roofs. He has roofed in his past, so he is an expert in that department. And he goes up to the door, I go up to the door, meet the customer, have a great little 2-minute conversation, and just say, we're gonna get to it. Don't need much time. Just gonna get up, get some pictures, and finish this report for you. So I run back to the car to get he wants to see the damage, so I run back to the car to get chalk, because in the roofing industry, you circle, you take a 10-foot area, and you've got to have so many marks within that 10 by 10 square, and you just circle them, get a picture of it. It's super simple. So I go back to the car to get the chalk. Jason's walking up with the ladder, and we get up, and when I'm walking back, I see this, this bigger guy talking to Jason, and I'm like, oh, I guess maybe it's an adjuster or something. And I get up there, and this guy, I don't know if he just had a bad day at the office, but I mean, he is on us, and he's commenting about how Jason is dressed, and he's commenting about how I don't have a shirt with a logo on it, and he asked me for a business card, which I didn't have at the time. And so I just, tell him, hey, there's 60,000 homes affected. I said, I've been handing these things out like hotcakes. I said, I got more coming in this week. I can bring one by if you want one. And you just get a snide remark of, oh, so you're roofing 60,000 homes? It's like, no. But there's just a lot of work. So we're meeting a lot of people. This is not a normal, this isn't normally how the business is. It's not this crazy. And so, he's got this tone and just coming after Jason and I. And finally, I just looked at the guy and said, "Bud, this is a partnership. we're on the same team here, and I just don't think that this partnership is going well. And we're just gonna just walk away, no hard feelings. But I just don't think this is a job that we're looking to do. And he wasn't gonna have it. And
so he didn't want you to leave.
He didn't want me to leave, but didn't want me to stay. No, he wanted me to stay, but he wanted me to know that I'm not getting this job. And this is a small job for what we're seeing. And so then I just finally he shook my hand this time. I shook his hand. I said, no hard feelings. We're just going to get out of here and go back to the truck. And then I hear him yelling from the doorway of the house, you want to come tell, the client, the older gentleman, why you're not going to bid this job for him. And so I just try to be polite, go back up there, and now he's trying to how do I say what he's trying to do? He's trying to make me feel small and tiny, telling me about how important he is and how much jobs he's working on cost, and who he plays golf with, which was funny just because you can one up me on a lot of things, but when it comes to golf and who I have gotten to play golf with in my life, that's
you're not going to one up
you're not going to one up me there. But I just take it because if it makes him feel great and powerful, all power to you, bud. But then finally I just said, to the client, when somebody comes out and kind of starts attacking us and coming at us and commenting on how one of my team members is dressed and putting us down, I said, that's not a job that we want to do, and no hard feelings. And I try to shake the guy's hand again, and he won't shake my hand. And so the client, that it was his house, shook my hand, and we headed off. But it was an interesting experience.
Yeah,
that was week one.
It's not things don't always go the way you plan.
But I didn't want to quit. I didn't want to quit, and that's a tough day. One, because Jason's got so much other stuff going, and this is not part of his job description. And I call him out to come over here and help me, and then we just get, he gets talked down to, I get talked down to, and he's like, "Man, what did you get me into here?" But it was interesting.
Well, all right. Well, we've talked about laundromats and told a story. How about telling these folks how to get a business off the ground? What was the first thing? All right, you're going to get in the roofing business, so take it from there.
Well, truth be told, I don't own the company. My wife does. I'm not yet a permanent resident of Canada, so I don't have a way of owning a company up there. Or maybe I do. I'm sure there's a way to get it done. But so the first thing, guys, is figuring out what kind of company you want to be. If it's an LLC, if it's whatever format of company you want, and you're more knowledgeable on the different types of partnerships you can form, or
being a sole proprietor.
I was thinking prioritership, and I'm going, that's not even a word. But there's different, and that's more of a legal. You need to talk to an attorney and figure out how you need to set it up for tax reasons.
Attorney, CPA, they can tell you what kind of entity you want, guys.
Definitely,
so
the way taxes flow through, it's some are good for you personally, some are not. The protections that different types of entities protect you as a person, some don't as much. So it's very based off your situation personally, what kind of company you need to form. But obviously, guys, figure that out, and then it's on to filling out the paperwork and getting your company going, which it doesn't cost a lot of money, a few $100. And obviously, you got to check, make sure the name you want is there, some things like that. But it's a very simple process. And then, from there, you actually have a company.
I'm a little surprised that Calgary Roofing was available.
And restoration. I don't know if Calgary Roofing was available.
But roofing and restoration was.
Nobody's restorating.
I got you. All right.
So, we came up with Calgary Roofing and Restoration. Obviously, you want a name that people remember. You don't want a goofy name, but you also want it to tell what you're doing. And, Calgary Roofing, we're mainly a roofing company, but the restoration part for us is houses in Calgary in most price ranges, not the upper tier homes, but kind of middle home and back, have vinyl siding. And in any hailstorm, that vinyl siding just gets plastered. I mean, the pictures, I sent you a picture of some of the,
Yeah.
I mean, it's, guys,
Literally
it's
had holes
nuts.
in it. Yeah.
I mean, I would say it almost looks like it got shot up, but it's way worse than that. I mean, the holes are massive. And so, restoration where, we do gutters, siding, windows, can do fences. We can kind of do it all. So we wanted the name, you want the name of your company to portray, what services you can provide. And we thought that was a very fitting name.
No, I like it. So you go, you pick out your entity, you get the name, take us from there.
Then you need that paperwork. You got to get a bank account set up. Obviously, if you're going to make money, got to have somewhere for it to go.
Which is the goal
Which is the goal.
Yeah.
Get you a credit card set up if you can get a credit card set up. So now, like you stuff's starting to come together, and that stuff's not fun. That's not the fun part. The part next is my favorite part, which is what do you want your brand to look like, and what do you want your logos? What do you want your colors?
Kind of like Residual Earners.
And we spent a lot of time with Reagan on Residual Earners and what it was going to be, and different colors signify different things. And so you want to make sure that, your colors make sense to what you're doing. So there's more that goes into it than what you think.
Right. It's not just willy-nilly pick a couple of colors.
Well, I guess with AI now, you could probably do nothing and just say, hey, make me a logo pack and a company branding.
For a roofing company.
And then it spits it out.
Yeah, probably could.
But, we kind of have orangey, yellow, and navy colors. With our logo, we're in Calgary. We have a home with mountains behind it. It really ties in nicely. And that's a fun part to me is getting that branding out and kind of you're just putting all the puzzle pieces together to actually have something.
Now, okay, you got your branding coming together, you got your entity picked out, you got bank accounts. How do you go out and get customers? You're a new company. How do you find some customers?
We're getting there.
Okay.
I had something I was going to go to before that part. And now I forgot. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. This ties into that. So guys, as you know, Reagan Rue, we've had her on the podcast multiple times. She helps us with all ventures that we have. But how do you acquire customers? Well, first, in a business like this where you're very customer facing, you need people to be able to search you, find you, get your information. We have a website now that is being revamped to something way greater, but you have to get your social media presence out there. You have to get your website out there, and you have to get your marketing out there. I'm not going to go into the secret sauce of our marketing campaign that works just flawlessly that nobody else does. But you want to get your name out there, figure it out, whether it's, Facebook ads, Google SEO type work, paid ads. You have to get your information in front of customers. For us, it was a little easier. Obviously, Bruce has been doing this 45 years. It's not real difficult. He's got the knowledge of how to reach customers. So we were able to reach customers quick, and also backtracking a little bit, when you're starting a business, there has to be a need for what you want to do. And right now, with 60,000 homes being affected, there is a need for what service we can offer. So when starting a company, obviously you got to start something that people need. And then now, it's getting that information out there. So even right now, and obviously we started that first marketing campaign that's gone extremely well. Next week, we'll have the second round of that marketing campaign. But in the meantime, Reagan's hard working on the back end of getting everything set up to next week launch, a full internet presence and campaign there. And, if you stick to those strategies, one, we've already seen that, we've got customers. We've gone, met with customers, messed up more than we've succeeded, but we've learned and we'll be okay there. But I'm excited for next week to get another round of what we've already done out, as well as get the marketing campaign on the internet presence going, and take the lessons we've learned and actually, really hit the ground running next week.
All right, I'm going to ask you something because I don't even know the answer to this one. You're talking about kind of revamping the website. Did you have a website and you're just redoing it? When you're a brand new company, I'm confused on how you had a website that needed to be revamped.
Well, Bruce made it. If that tells you anything.
Okay, so it needs to be revamped.
And Bruce will not watch this, so I can speak freely. But when I showed Reagan, she's like, "This is crap." I said, "Well, if you've ever met Bruce, you know where it came from." But it worked, and there were pains with that as well because multiple people went to the site, and at first it wasn't even sending all of their information. So it'd literally send their address, no name, no number, no email. So the leads that came in off the website, I'm driving to their house and literally knocking on the door, and nobody answers in this day and age. So putting a hand-signed note on their door saying, "Hey, you submitted a lead. There was no name attached to it. All we had was your address, so here I am. Give me a call." And it worked. Everybody I did that to actually called me. But it's those little efforts that are going to get you going initially and make you successful in the long run. Because I've kind of gotten over pride. I've gotten over fear of calling people and having rejection. I mean, one guy's smarter than I am in the whole situation. I'm like, still going after him. And I know he knows more than I know. And he knows more than I know. So it's like, those conversations aren't fun because obviously this is new and exciting, but you want to be the smartest person in the room in your field. And in 2 weeks, it hasn't even been 2 weeks, I've learned a lot, but I got a lot of learning to do.
Yeah, Jordan would call me and go, "What do you think I should do here?" So I was coaching him on how to talk to people. But I'll say this, guys, and Jordan is a living example of it, is if you will embrace rejection, you'll become unstoppable, because that's really what it boils down to when you're trying to sell.
Yeah.
Because what holds people back when they're trying to sell is they're scared of somebody saying no. What if they tell me no? And, I just tell people, hey, embrace rejection. Go for no. Get out there and go for the no. And Jordan's got where he's doing that now, and they're getting a bunch of jobs. And it's pretty amazing watching him take this brand new startup company, and, they're going to have more work than they can do here pretty quick.
And I think I think it's important, and I think make sure and throw this into your lives. The go for no, I think people need to understand the point in going for no, which I think I've found over the last 2 weeks. Going for no is not the main objective. Or I guess it is, but it isn't. I think people's fear are this awkward conversation that leads to the no, over the no. That's at least what it was for me. Because I don't want to talk to somebody and look like an absolute idiot in whatever I'm trying to sell them. So, for me, obviously, in this new venture, starting a roofing company, it's roofs. And you're having these conversations, and people are asking you all of these questions. And it's hard to say, guys, been in business a week, so I'll let you know. But hey, would you sign here? So it's that awkward conversation that is tough to have with people. And that's what I'm just pushing through and just saying, I don't care. Like, maybe I'm an idiot. Maybe I don't have the answer to your question. I'm going to try to act like I have the answer to your question. Maybe you sniff me out and say, this guy's absolute lunatic. I don't even think he knows what a shingle is. But I'm just continuing to push through these awkward conversations, because once you've got through them, it makes everything so much easier. Because day one, which I think the first house I ever went to, he called me yesterday, and I think he wants to move forward. I knew nothing. I mean, literally, Bruce is like, tell me on the phone stuff. And Bruce is not a good explainer. Bruce hadn't been in the field in 30 years. He's got guys that are out there doing everything. And he jumps from subject to subject to subject, so I never feel like we actually get through the actual conversation we're trying to have. But you go for no, you learn along the way, and you just have to get over those pride issues of not feeling smart, of somebody putting you down, like the guy talking down to us, and go from there. You got to remember what your main goal is at the end of the day, why you're doing this. You got to have a why in anything, and then you just you keep pushing through. And I think that's tough. Getting back to this is how to start a business. When you're starting a business, unless you have done something for 15 years and just say, I'm branching off on my own, that's different. If you're starting something from scratch that you don't have a lot of experience in, but you have passion, you just got to push through and not forget why you started, and know that if you learn from what you're going through, you will find success, 2 weeks down the road, a month down the road, whatever it is. I listen to a lot of people in this industry that are like, it took me a month, 6 weeks to get my first sale. And I'm just like, well, I got 2 sales in my first week, which is pretty solid. So you just got to keep pushing.
Doesn't it help, though? A couple of things. One, you got Bruce, so you got a mentor. So if you've got somebody, folks, that can mentor you, that means a lot. And number two, in today's world with YouTube and stuff, I know you have done a lot of studying on YouTube and watching a lot of people that are in this industry.
Definitely. If you can call Bruce a mentor, then yes. He definitely helps me out a lot. And he helped me out a lot more on the branding, the marketing, having a full-fledged, expensive software system that, I just am in and using. So he helped out in so many ways like that. But, I'm getting a real education from just talking to people, getting another education from getting on YouTube and actually seeing and learning. And there's so much information out there. And obviously all this stuff happened pretty quick, or I would have done a lot more studying beforehand. But you can gain so much knowledge off of watching that. I mean, from how to close deals to, the software we use to quote deals. Because that's one reason being back here tomorrow, I'm spending all day just learning how to use the software and quote, because you don't have to rely on anybody else to get the business done. And right now I'm still relying on Bruce too heavily. So, my goal this weekend is to be able to say, I know how to do everything, and, then be able to operate a lot more efficiently where you're not calling somebody for help.
That'll actually be pretty amazing, Jordan, because you've only been doing this a couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. To be able to say, I've got it all down and I know what I'm doing. Not that you won't have to ask some questions, but that's still pretty amazing.
Not saying I'm going to get everything right, but I can at least get through the processes and be able to do everything. Because right now it's like, if I need a quote, I'm waiting on Bruce to get it done. Talking to adjusters, all this kind of stuff, I'm waiting on Bruce to get it done. I want to be able to rock and roll without anybody's help.
Talk to them real quick about, you did go and start ordering business cards, shirts, all that sort of stuff, packets.
Definitely.
Tell them about, that when you're starting a business, you got to be able to present yourself in a professional manner.
Definitely. And I think, we kind of missed the back end of that first story I told where the guy's talking down to us. And, obviously I come off very professionally whenever I talk to people. I don't, I'm not bashful. I'm not shy. I present myself as well as possible, but you still need to be in this profession, be branded up, have business cards. I have folders now that every estimate I put together, I always want to sit down with the customer for the estimate. I don't want to just send emails because that, emails are easy to say no to. So I want to sit down. So I have these really nice Calgary Roofing and Restoration folders, put everything in, hand it. It's a very professional packet that's delivered. And, that's another part of it, guys. Whenever you're doing that whole branding step, this kind of stuff does cost a little bit of money, not a ton, but you got to get business cards. For us, we have signs we put out in front of homes. We have folders, shirts, jackets, all that fun stuff. And, back to the fun steps, I really enjoy that kind of stuff and creating that. But it's very important that you brand yourself well, that people know, hey, this is exactly why I can see what their company is. I know what they do, and he's presented, or she has presented herself extremely well.
You should probably get a shirt and a jacket and send to that joker that was talking down to you.
I've thought about it.
Yes. Just send him a little care package.
I do think, since he talked down to me like I literally don't have two nickels to rub together, I thought about buying him a real nice cashmere sweater and put up the biggest Calgary Roofing and Restoration logo just dead on the chest and saying, yeah, I think people of your stature only wear cashmere. I don't know, being a peasant, but I just wanted to get you something nice.
Okay, let's go into something else here. There's a lot of folks that are watching that they are going, okay, I want to start a business. I want to start a roofing business or a laundromat business or a self-storage business what advice would you give them about taking that first step, just getting out there and doing it?
Do the market research. That's one. Make sure you know what you're getting into. And this situation I'm describing, obviously I've told you all it came around quick, but my market experience is Bruce, who is literally one of my best friends, has been in the industry for 45 years and at one point was one, if not the biggest players in the game. Like 45 years of roofing experience. And when somebody like that comes to you that's told you don't get into it, the opportunity is not right, and then finally says, it's your time if you want to go and I'm going to help you get started, that's different. But obviously do the research, do the market research, know your clientele, know what you're getting into. And then if you have a mentor, obviously it's always good to run stuff by, but once you say I'm doing it, there's no turning back, you're all in. And for the last 2 weeks, that's what it's been for me. It's long hours, it's up early, it's driving all around Calgary, meeting with appointment after appointment after appointment, and then however many appointments you have, coming back home or back now we have an office, and doing the back end work to make all these deals happen, because obviously you can go sell them all you want, but at some point you got to put all these numbers together, and it's a lot of work because it's basically estimating an entire outside of a house on every house. So it's measuring everything, getting the square footage, getting all the trim pieces, the outer edges, the inner edges. The roof stuff's easy because that's all off satellite imagery, but everything else, the size of the windows, if the shades on them, the screens on them are busted. If you think about the outside of a house, how much work goes into, or how many different pieces there are, and it's our job to make sure every one of those pieces is accounted for and getting estimates back to people.
Yeah. Do you think Bruce said it's time to go because there were 60,000 houses that needed some work?
That, and he could not get over that, nobody was there working. And I still can't get over the fact that 95 to 97% of the homes have not been touched yet. It's bizarre because obviously living in Texas, you know, there's a roofer on every single corner, and it's not like that up there. So obviously there's a need, not only a need because of the damage, but a need because of the lack of companies that can do it correctly. And obviously being tied to USA Roofing and having the experience there. And, you know, it goes back to all of our suppliers, everybody getting us the product. Like Bruce already has everything set up with him because he's done it for so long, and it's the same ones he uses down here that are, you know, pretty much all North America. So it's that kind of stuff's just been so nice to not be a new company, and everybody we go talk to and give them the credentials and say who we are. You know, it's easy to get accounts set up, and it's been super nice. But back to the original question, once you say it's time to go, you just got to go, and then just learn as much as possible to make sure you know every step of the process. And that's one thing I learned from the car business. Obviously, I had a great knowledge of it, but I was never the smartest person with it. But we started, then I went back to college, and didn't, you know, I was still part of the business, but I wasn't as active in it with everything there. And then that business got so big so quick, it was hard to, you know, get your hands around it at that point. So that's my biggest learn is I will know every single step of this process, start to finish. And if, you know, the whole, besides roof, I will not get up and shingle a house. But
do you know I have shingled a few houses?
You've told me that. I haven't seen any proof, but you have told me that.
Let me say this. It hadn't been in the last couple of years, but when I was coaching and I would buy a house, fix it up, and sell it, I didn't have the money to hire other people to do it. So I had an Uncle Dude. Yeah. You know Uncle Dude. That was his nickname, Dude, but Uncle Dude. I would kind of do him like with Bruce. I'd call up and go, okay, I'm going to start roofing this house tomorrow. What's my first step? Yeah. And back in the day, you didn't have guns.
Well, it's all, all in the starting line swinging. To make sure that your shingles are straight.
Yes. It was. He made me infinitely clear on the fact that the first couple you put down are going to determine the whole roof. So I was real careful. But
that's why I'm very happy to have Jason that is, and he's told me, worst case, I get up there and we'll get the job done. So I'm lucky to have Jason, and he'll get it done. But guys, you know, learn everything you can, know the whole process, because like I said, if the sales team walks away, I'll be able to get in there and do it. If, you know, the social media team isn't there, I'll know what we're doing. If you know, our estimators are not there, I will know how to do it. And also, it's been nice because I have back office staff, like, and I'm pretty much a one-man show, but I'm not. But you know, they call the office. We have people that pick up the phone, and because of the number, they know it's from Calgary, and it's not. It comes in as CRR, Calgary Roofing Restoration. So, you know, we have people in the office that answer our phones when leads come in and put all the information in the system, send me out the lead, and
I don't think I knew that.
Oh yeah, no, we're official.
So
Bruce has a team. I mean, he's not a new kid on the block. So it's just like our calls go into his call center, and they answer and put everything in the system. Give me all the notes. They ask for all the paperwork, everything like that, and then I get it and go.
Man, see, I
started on third base in this industry, I guess.
Yeah, a lot of learning, but you did at least second base.
Bruce isn't good at explaining things, but he's helped out in so many ways.
So tomorrow you're going to go and learn how to estimate.
Yep, I'll know everything.
You know, you probably should get up on a roof and at least roof one of them, or be there and watch closely and help a little bit or something.
I'll do it at some point.
Because it's different, I'm telling you. My knees couldn't do it anymore. Man,
No.
that was a tough business when I was up
Well,
roofing
the problem
those
up
houses.
there is everything is so steep. Everything is like 7/12 or greater. Like it's very steep stuff. And I think that is because the snowfall, and you don't want to like these massive ice dams to form. So at least a lot of it will filter off because they are so steep. And there are 10 vents on a 1,800 square foot roof. You want the attic the same temperature as outside for condensation. I've learned a lot.
There you go, guys. You know how to start a roofing company anyway, which should translate into how to start a lot of other businesses. But you got the ideas on the first steps you need to take anyway. You know, get the entity down, get the name and the branding down, get you some business cards and folders and shirts, whatever else you need, and then
Get a marketing plan and go to work. Get a business plan. I mean, we didn't talk about a business plan, and you know, this type business doesn't. You don't really have a business plan. There's no upfront cost when doing insurance work. So once you sell a job, the way payments work is you're getting money up front for the initial payment to buy supplies and all that. So, you know, as a 3-man operation right now, you know, can sell as much as you can, and it's not there's no cash flow issues. Obviously, if you start building a full-time staff, you'll run into stuff, but initially, yeah, you don't even really need a fully drawn out business plan.
Well, don't go into details, but you're also starting another business at the same time called TikTok Shop.
Another one I don't have a business plan for. And we're still learning from that, guys. We got an entity for that. We did an LLC for Residual Earners. We branded that.
As you can see behind me and behind Jordo there, the RE.
So that's been another fun one, and it started to. There's starting to be legs on this, and that's exciting as well. I gotta push the TikTok shop portion a little more because, guys, we kind of Presley's Lives, the shop, the podcast, everything we kind of put into one. We put into one kind of business when we talk about it. We finally got the hours that we've completely unlocked all of YouTube. What would you say? How YouTube pays out creators, monetization. So, you know, it's just another thing we have going. Obviously, right now it's the smallest of the things we have going, but it's got a ton of potential. I wouldn't say the most potential of anything we got going, but it has potential to be something huge.
Well, you get a podcast really rocking, and it could have the most potential.
Definitely. And I think, guys, as you know, my last point in all of this is just time efficiency, scheduling, being efficient with your time is the most important thing. And with the recent move to Calgary, being a little unsettled there, not having an office till recently, the kids are like going bonkers with activities because everything's just so close and right by the house, so it's easy for them to do a bunch of stuff. So there's a ton of stuff there. I struggled this past summer, especially, you know, going out and spending some time at the lake with time management, being efficient with time. And I think the people that achieve the most are very good with their time. And that's one thing I've struggled with. Just kind of obviously moving to a different country and being a little unsettled there for a while. It's very important to get that piece locked in. And I see it like now I want to be on lives and do lives more often, but it's it frustrates me not to, but it's just so difficult to add that 5 a.m. piece to it as well. You know, it's, I don't know.
No, there's definitely some effort involved when you get up and do a 2.5, 3 hour live literally every day. But I'm telling you, I think there's potential there to be big. And, you know, you watch the Kelsey brothers get in there and get a contract for $100 million to do a podcast and stuff, and you start realizing, my gosh, there's money.
And I mean, for them, it's mainly just those two. I don't think they don't really bring on guests.
Not a lot, no.
Because another one I watch is Nightcap with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco, which is also becoming very, very popular. I don't know if you've watched any of their stuff. You know which one I'm talking about? I those guys are funny. And I think both of those guys, at least they talk about it. They're very financially smart with their money. And I think Chad Ochocinco, which was an unbelievable receiver, Bengals, just super athlete. He drives like it's not a Mini Cooper, but it's something like that. It's just like people laugh when they see him pull up, and he puts pictures of it up whenever. And he just said, you know, those guys were just talking how their goal and what they told their financial advisors, the first contract they signed is, I want to make sure, you know, at 70 years old, I'm living the exact same way I'm living now. And they got that piece right. And they do a great podcast, or it wouldn't even be a podcast, daily show. Kind of like the Kelsey brothers. Kelsey brothers isn't really a podcast.
No.
It's more of a daily show, kind of like the Pat McAfee show. But yeah, you know, you never know what they're going to become. And, you know, it's all about giving people quality content that they want to listen to. And
shoot, the Residual Earners, we may be getting us $100 million contract, man. You never know.
My email for that, guys. If you want to send it our way, our pins are ready to sign. But no, this has been fun. This has been you know, guys, and just full transparency, which I feel like we always are with you guys, is it has been a long day, and I was supposed to come yesterday, but some plans changed and ended up coming in today to Dallas to film this, which posts tomorrow. And then our flight gets delayed. We sit on the plane. We're literally on the plane for 2 hours before we ever take off. And I'm
with a 3 and 5 year old.
I'm sitting. Of course, I picked the seat with the girls, and so it's bonkers. And then, you know, 3.5 hour flight, and get here, and we're filming this at 9:30 p.m. to post at 6 a.m. And I definitely told Presley, I was like, man, I'm not feeling it. But at the end of the day, we said we made a commitment, and we said every Friday, 6 a.m. it's going to be posted. And
now when I'm doing my live, I can talk about it.
And we kind of had a little bit of a negative vibe towards it, and then committed and turned into a positive that, you know, we've been on for 55 minutes or so.
We've been on a long time. We were going to do like 30 minutes.
I know. So
it wasn't a negative vibe that we didn't want to do it. It was a vibe that, man, we're tired.
I got a headache. I've been sitting on a plane for nearly 6 hours. And obviously we were going to do this before dinner and then have dinner and hang out. And it turned into run in, eat dinner, and get down here because it's 9:30. So, but no, I'm happy we did it. And I think we had some good information today.
Guys, I'm loving every second of this. Hopefully, if you're thinking about starting a business, you can get something out of this, because he's just giving you the bare knuckles of what's going on, and he is definitely being transparent with what he's been doing. He and I've been talking about how to, you know, try to close sales and do all the stuff, and he's just telling you as it is. So if you're wanting to do something, guys, I'm telling you, action is the foundational step to all success. I mean, it is. You just, sure, you need to research. Sure, you need to do, you know, some market analysis if you're wanting to start like a laundromat or something. I mean, sure, you need to do a few things, but bottom line, you got to take that step. You got to say, okay, I'm in. You got to get the jersey on, get out in the game. And for all you guys that are watching, let's do it. Come on, it's time. You know, we don't get a do-over in this life, guys. This is it. We don't get a dress rehearsal. This is it. So let's get out there and let's start changing our life.
Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, anything you want to hear, any topics, leave comments down in the comments below. Hit that subscribe and hit the like as well. We never ask for likes, but hit the like on the video, comment on it. This was episode 39, guys. We're 13 weeks away from a year of doing this.
Wow.
We'll have to do a year anniversary of the Martian video.
I think so. Love you.
Love you too. Thanks for tuning in, guys.